Hello, welcome to In the Blink of an Eye, today's show with your host, Benjamin Valdez, El Capitan. I'm here today at Palm Valley Animal Society, and we're going to be interviewing Donna Casamento, Executive Director here at Palm Valley Animal Society. So on behalf of Pueblo Tires and Service, we want to thank you again for allowing us 48 years of serving the community since 1972. And Pueblo Tires is very thankful to you, the community, for giving us the opportunity to help you keep your car in good running condition. More than ever, we need our cars to be safe, and I know a lot of you have concerns about that. You know, we're living in a very strange times, difficult times, pandemic, you name it, a year of elections and so forth. But we just want you to know that we're here to help you with your car. And Pueblo Tires does offer financial options up to 24 months to pay and no credit needed. So, having said that, now we're going to introduce Donna Casamento, Palm Valley Animal Society Executive Director. Donna, thank you for having us here.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. Bubbles and I say hello.
Oh, this is Bubbles.
This is Bubbles. Yes.
How old is Bubbles?
Bubbles is about 8 weeks old and ready for adoption.
All right. Well, this is what Palm Valley Animal Society is all about, right? Adoptions. And tell us a little bit about your history here, Donna. How long you been here?
Yeah. Thank you. No, I've only been here since April of this year. I came right at the start of the pandemic, so that's been an interesting start to my tenure here. Unfortunately, many of my staff, I've still not even seen their faces because I've only seen them from here. We keep saying that when all this is over, we're going to have a big reveal party and everybody take off their masks and get to see, to finally meet everybody face to face.
Palm Valley Animal Society, in the past, a few months ago, before the pandemic, we did another interview, and you all have several locations too, or?
Yeah, we do. Thank you. Yes, we have two. We have one on Trenton.
Trenton, correct.
Kind of about Trenton and McCall in that area, and then we have this is our Lord P. Andrews Center. Okay. That's just off of Monte Cristo, off of 281.
Yeah, I've never been here before. I've seen it from the outside. It's pretty nice in here. I walked in here and said, "Man, this is nice." Yeah. I mean, these little animals or critters, they haven't made here.
Yeah, no, the animals deserve a great place.
Of course.
And we're very fortunate to have this place here at Lori P. Andrews, and we're hoping in the next few years to be able to build our Trenton Center at some point and make it into just as an amazing facility as this one is here.
Okay. Well, Donna, now that we've said a little bit, we're going to actually take a little break, okay? And again, thank you for joining us today in the blink of an eye. We hope you're enjoying your Saturday afternoon with your family. And remember, safety is in everybody's job description. Stay safe, follow the procedures of safety. Don't take it lightly. And again, on behalf of Pueblo Tires and Service, we thank you for giving us the opportunity to serve you. We have 13 locations. You can look us up on the website, shampoozy.com. And again, we're there to serve and help you. And we're going to take a little break, and then we'll be back here at Palm Valley Animal Society to keep our talk with Donna Casamento. We're going to find out about adoption policies, procedures, what types of animals they have here, if you're looking to adopt, and much more here in the blink of an eye. So we'll be right back.
At Pueblo Tires and Service, your safety will always be our top priority, so we're taking all preventative measures during your visit. Let's keep our community moving with our wide variety of automotive services and our giant selection of new tires and wheels, like a set of 4 20-inch tires for only $499, or buy a set of 4 16-inch tires for only $299, and you'll get a free alignment check, and you also get a free 7-point inspection. Pueblo Tires and Service, 13 locations to serve you.
Shampoozy.com. Tú eres como yo y yo sé que soy el primo del Shampoozy. Ve a Pueblo Tires y Servicios. Seguimos practicando las medidas de seguridad de la CDC. Además, ofrecemos opciones de financiamiento hasta 24 meses para pagar y no necesitas crédito. Paquetes de llantas que te ahorran dinero. Cambio de aceite, alineamiento, todo tipo de servicio. La vida está llena de elecciones. Elige a Pueblo Tires y Servicios hoy. Búscanos en shampoozy.com. Lávate las manos y ponte la máscara y ponte a bailar. Shampoozy.com. ¡Que bailen! Shampoozy.com.
And we're back in the blink of an eye. Gracias por acompañarnos hoy en un abrir y cerrar de ojo con su servidor Benjamín Valdez, el capitán. We're here at Palm Valley Animal Society in Edinburgh, Texas, and we're speaking with Mrs. Donna Casamento, Executive Director. Donna, again, thank you. And that's Bubbles, right?
That's Bubbles,
now,
yeah.
Bubbles is ready to go.
Bubbles is ready to go home today.
Okay,
and he's got a lot of little friends here that are ready to go home with him too.
Tell us, what are some of the procedures if somebody wants to adopt? What do they got to do?
You know, we are still open here at Palm Valley Animal Society, and as an essential business, we've continued to be open 375 days a year. We're here from 11 to 7, so you can either just come by and adopt, or you can first visit our website. We invite you to do that, and you can complete your adoption application there so that you limit your time here in the shelter to not having to do a bunch of paperwork. You can just focus on the business at hand of finding a pet for your family.
How long does it normally take? I mean, okay, I want to walk in here. Hey, I want to adopt this little guy, or Bubbles.
Well, if you've already completed your paperwork, it goes pretty quickly.
Pretty quick.
We want to make sure you've had time to get to know the animal that you're going to adopt, so we invite you to come in and spend some time, whether it's with a dog or a cat. If it's a dog, we've got little outside areas that you can go in with your family and spend some time, socializing with them and make sure they're the right fit. So it can, depends on you. How much time you want to spend with your pet.
Pretty quick.
And the paperwork process isn't that difficult and isn't that.
Now, some of these
long.
little critters, I mean, let's say we go out there, let's get to know each other. They might be a little hesitant on their part.
And they're shy, some of them.
Right.
And keep in mind that, you're all new people and they're going to be able to relax when they get into a home environment.
Yeah.
So we want to give them that time and realize that the animal in the shelter is not always the same animal that you're going to get home. Hopefully you're going to get a much more relaxed, confident animal that's going to be comfortable, and you want to give them that time and that space to feel like home is home.
Right. Okay, so again, on the procedures, if they want to fill out the application, they can do it online.
Yep, you can do it all online.
Okay.
And then when you get here, we are limiting the number of people that can be in the facility, so we kind of line people up, and you can see today that we have plenty of room for people to come in and adopt today at both facilities. And so at the Trenton facility, we actually have an app that we use, and you wait in your car until your turn comes up. Because the space is a little tighter there than it is here.
Yes.
Here we can invite more people in.
Could you give us a website where they could go?
Absolutely. Thank you. It's pvastx.org. That's pvastx.org for Palm Valley Animal Society.
All right. Well, I think, in today's world, especially right now with this pandemic situation, which I know there's a lot of tensions at homes. Kids are home, virtual schooling. There's a lot of problems with the internet, I hear.
Yeah.
And so, I think it would be maybe an additional, have a little animal at home that you can.
Can you imagine if you were doing homeschooling?
Yeah.
What great show and tell you would have?
Yeah.
If you just adopted a new pet.
Right,
Wouldn't
right.
that be awesome?
Yeah, so
or if you're even fostering a new pet. One of in addition to adoptions, we need people to foster, especially our little kittens.
Okay, explain that, please.
Yeah, foster is something that you do for us to help support and get the animal out of a shelter for a little period of time. Sometimes with the kittens, especially we call them neonate kittens. They're the itty bitty ones, smaller than Bubbles here, that are not really ready for adoption yet, but they still need that time to grow and get bigger. Often people in the community will see kittens out in the wild and they think they've got to scoop them up and save them. Well, if they're itty bitties, really the best thing you can do is to leave them out there right now, because chances are their mother, who they desperately need right now, is hiding around the corner
Somewhere.
watching you. And she's not going to come near until you've left those kittens and walked away.
Wow.
We want you to, from a long distance to keep an eye on them, but leave them there. And then when they get older, about 4 to 6 weeks, that's when we want you to scoop them up and bring them to us.
I have a granddaughter. She's just turned 7, and we were on vacation in Indiana, close to Indianapolis, at my mother-in-law's, and she's got a lot of woods behind her house. There's a lot of woods, up there. It was beautiful, just getting away from the valley. But she came with us. She went on vacation with us, and she came in with a little canister, plastic. Look, Grandpa, what I found. She had a little snake. a tiny little snake about, I don't know, 6, 7 inches long. I said, "Oh, where'd you find it?" "It's out there." And she, she scooped it up. I said, "Look, it's probably just a little, grass snake, but I'm sure Mama's around somewhere. And how big is Mama? We don't know."
Right.
So I said, "Let's take it back." I mean, she was a little brave girl to scoop it up. She didn't
Absolutely.
even think about it. She said, "I got a little snake." And I said, "Well, you can't keep it, mija. It's got a mama somewhere, maybe little brothers or sisters." So tell me where you found it. She told me right here. So we let it out and it's, scooted back into the grass. And I said, but like you just said, Mama was around somewhere. And so again, cute little animals, but sometimes it's better to leave them alone.
It is better to leave them alone, but often people don't. And so when that happens, we have to bottle feed and that sort of thing to the real little ones that need that kind of round-the-clock care. And so if you have the ability, Bubbles is saying, "I think I'm done with this interview." Bubbles, it's okay, we're almost done. So we need to, give them that time,
Yeah.
give them the opportunity, give them the nutrition and the food that they need
right.
to be able to grow. But it does take a little bit around-the-clock care. We can show people how to do it and give you all the training you need. So if you can go to our website at pvastx.org and click on fostering or volunteering, and we can hook you up with kittens like Bubbles that are a little bit smaller that still need your help.
Now, what's the bulk of you have cats, dogs?
We have cats and dogs. We typically, every once in a while we get rabbits. We don't
Rabbits.
have any right now, but we do deal with companion animals primarily.
Okay.
Lots of dogs and cats.
A lot of dogs and cats and no birds, or nothing.
No birds. We don't do the birds at this point right now.
Okay.
We're just doing dogs and cats. And there are so many dogs and cats right now that are in need, particularly kittens right now because of kitten season. And kitten season that here in the RGV is longer than a lot of other communities because of how warm it is here. And the heat cycles in cats go, kind of throughout that whole process. So little kittens that are out in the field that may start out kitten season as teenagers may have 2 or 3 litters of kittens out in the field. So getting involved with our community cat program and trapping to spay and neuter those kittens, those adult cats, so that they're not creating little cutie pies like Bubbles here, and so many kittens out there in the world. So making sure that you've been involved with our community cat program. So if you know of stray cats that are in your community, please give us a call and let us know, and we can deploy our community cat program folks out there and start trapping and neutering in your area.
Well, you gave us a website. Give us a phone number.
Oh my gosh.
I got a number here.
Why don't you give us the phone
Okay,
numbers?
it's,
'Cause we've
let's
got a
see,
couple.
956-720-4563, extension 226. How about that?
That's my own extension.
That's your own extension. Well, there you go. You go right to the source.
Yeah, right to the
Donna
source.
Casamento.
Thank
Donna, we're going to take another little break, and then we'll be back. And I want to hear a little bit more history about Bubbles.
Yeah, he's talking.
And hey, there you go. Okay, well, vamos a little break, and we'll be back in the blink of an eye.
En Pueblo Tires and Service, su seguridad es nuestra mayor prioridad, así que estamos tomando todas las medidas de prevención durante su visita. Mantengamos a nuestra comunidad en movimiento con nuestra nueva y extensa variedad de servicios automotriz y nuestra gigantesca selección de rines y llantas nuevas, como un set de 4 llantas de 20 pulgadas por solo $499, o compre un set de 4 llantas de 16 pulgadas por solo $299, y usted recibe una verificación de alineación gratuita. Además, recibirá la inspección de 7 puntos gratis.
Folks, if you're like me, and I know I am, you need a safe place to take your mule. Easy Solution Partner at Pueblo, we are CDC compliant, and we offer up 24 months to pay. No credit needed. Need an oil change, deal on tires, brakes, alignment, stain inspection. This is the place, folks. With over 47 years in South Texas, we are with you. Shampoozy.com. Kevilen. Shampoozy.com.
And we're back in the blink of an eye again on behalf of Pueblo Tires and Service, your family car care center. We've got 13 locations to serve you since 1972, and we do offer financial options up to 24 months to pay and no credit needed. He's excited, or somebody's excited back there. Well, we're here at Palm Valley Animal Society, and we're speaking with Donna Casamento, Executive Director. Again, they've got dogs, cats, there's one of them, and we've got Bubbles here, and we've talked a little bit about adoption and procedures. Donna, tell us more.
Well, I wanted to talk to you about the scope of services that we offer here at Palm Valley Animal Society. We bring in somewhere between 23 and 27,000 animals a year.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing?
Yes.
Yeah. So it takes, how they say it takes a village to raise a child. Well, it takes
Yes.
our whole RGV community to help with what we need to do here. And we work not only with adopters who, we've got amazing adopters here in the community, people that are really willing to step up and help us save as many lives as we possibly can. But we also work with rescue groups all over the country, because one of the things with that many animals coming in, and in that we contract with a lot of the animal control agencies around, we often get animals that are severely injured, have, like broken limbs or other injuries that, because of the amount of animals that we have, with only 2 veterinarians on staff dealing with, 23 to 27,000
Wow.
animals a year,
Yeah.
you can imagine that when it comes to those more complicated surgeries or
Yeah.
treatments, we need help and support from other rescue organizations. So we're so pleased that so many of those rescue groups step up and say, you know what, that one that needs extra special attention, or that maybe needs a wheelchair or needs an additional surgery, that we just don't have the scope of services to be able to do that here. We don't have the resources. Our funding for the amount of animals that we take into to our 2 facilities is about 1/5 of what organizations of similar intake across the nation operate under. So we are definitely that little engine that could. We have just done an amazing job with this team here in increasing our life-saving ability, increasing our save rate from where in just a few short years ago it was at 34% of the animals that came into the facilities were saved. The rest of them were euthanized.
Wow.
Now we're at 92% of them are saved.
Okay.
And that
That's
means
good.
only those that are too sick or that we just can't save are the ones that don't make it.
And this location here is fairly, how old is this location here?
It's about almost 5 years old.
5 years old? Okay, so.
Yeah, and this is where we have our surgery center here
Oh,
too.
okay.
Yeah.
So you have a surgery center here?
Yeah.
And you're, what do you call them, physicians or?
Our veterinarians.
Veterinarians. Are they located here?
Well, we actually have one at each place,
Okay.
because our intake happens at our other facility, and we have her there primarily because we have a lot of animals there that need day-to-day attention, but also she's able to triage the animals that are coming in so that we can see what scope of injuries that they may have and how deep and extensive of surgeries or services that animal actually needs. And so if they need a lot of things done. They do the x-rays and that sort of thing over there, and then they'll transfer them over here to surgical procedures if need be.
Now, if somebody wants to volunteer, they get in contact with you all here.
Yeah, we need volunteers in every aspect of things, from walking dogs to playing with kitties like Bubbles here, working in our surgery center and helping us with transport and just administrative functions too.
Right.
So we have a great volunteer coordinator who just new with us. She just started with her. Her name's Lilia. So you can reach out to volunteers at pvastx.org or just go to our website at pvastx.org and click on volunteers, and you can fill out the form and just get all the info and figure out how to sign up with us.
That number you gave me, the thousands and 20,000s of animals, and you've got 2 facilities.
Yeah.
And I guess that tells me you do have a good rate of folks adopting.
We do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keeps the flow going.
Yeah. And we were really worried with the pandemic that would slow down a little bit.
Right.
And, it has, but not much, because people have been really wonderful about working with us with the restrictions so that we can keep everybody safe. I think this is the first time I've been in this lobby without a mask on since I got here, but we've got everybody else spaced away. And we have, screens up, and we're doing all the things to keep everybody as safe as we possibly can.
Yeah, I think, we're in the same boat. We've been open since day one, as during the pandemic, considered an essential business. And we've done, our part to keep us safe and our company employees safe and our customers safe, curbside service and things of that nature. And but I think at first, just like everybody else, the uncertainty, we didn't know what was going to happen. Everybody's going to die. We weren't sure. Now we are. I think a lot of that fear has subsided somewhat, but we still got to be very careful.
Yeah, we have to be very, very careful.
Right.
Because, with some of our, we've all been impacted in one way or another, coming in contact with people that have COVID or know people that have had it, or
Right.
unfortunately some know people that have passed away from it. And so we have to be as careful and as safe
right.
as we possibly can. And we take it very seriously here.
Now, one thing, and talking about COVID, because at first, you hear so much information at first, everybody's going to get it, just underlying conditions. And then they were even saying that could animals get it? Were they getting it? So in your world, have you...
We haven't seen that.
Nothing?
We've been following it a lot. We're fortunate that one of our veterinarians is Dr. Erin. She is kind of high on the sought-after list of looking into these sort of things, and so she's been in communications with it, and I'm on calls several times a week, and national calls to try to make sure that we're following all the latest news. But we're fortunate that we've not had any pets that have been impacted, and there's been a lot of information out there about some pets that have, which ultimately afterwards it turned out that some weren't actually impacted, that wasn't what was going on. But we are even isolating pets that are coming out of COVID-exposed homes here.
Okay.
So, we are quarantining those animals and making sure that they're following the same quarantine procedures that a human would have,
Right. Okay.
and monitoring them. And we haven't had any of them present with any illness that we've been able to identify.
Well, okay. Well, Donna, listen, we're going to take another little break, and we're going to wrap it up. But again, it's Palm Valley Animal Society here in Edinburgh, and Donna Casamento, Executive Director. And again, I think animals have always been part of society. Right now, more than ever, like you said, even during the pandemic, you've had a lot of support. It hasn't stopped you from doing what you're doing, so we're thankful for that. I know Bubbles is thankful for that.
Yes.
And I still want to hear a little more history about Bubbles, how he arrived here.
Okay.
And but we're going to take one more little break, and we'll be back in the blink of an eye.
At Pueblo Tires and Service, your safety will always be our top priority, so we're taking all preventative measures during your visit. Let's keep our community moving with our wide variety of automotive services and our giant selection of new tires and wheels, like a set of 4 20-inch tires for only $499, or buy a set of 4 16-inch tires for only $299, and you'll get a free alignment check, and you also get a free 7-point inspection. Pueblo Tires and Service, 13 locations to serve you.
Shampoozy.com.
Tú eres como yo y yo sé que soy el primo del Shampoozy. Ve a Pueblo Tires y Servicios. Seguimos practicando las medidas de seguridad de la CDC. Además, ofrecemos opciones de financiamiento hasta 24 meses para pagar y no necesitas crédito. Paquetes de llantas que te ahorran dinero. Cambio de aceite, alineamiento, todo tipo de servicio. La vida está llena de elecciones. Elige a Pueblo Tires y Servicios hoy. Búsquenos en shampoozy.com. Lávate las manos y ponte la máscara y ponte a bailar.
Shampoozy.com. ¡Que bailen! Shampoozy.com.
Hello, folks. Welcome back to In the Blink of an Eye with yours truly, Benjamin Valdez, El Capitan. On behalf of Pueblo Tires and Service, again, we want to thank you for allowing us to serve you since 1972, 48 years in the making. And again, we are here to provide all kinds of service, tires. We got trained technicians, and we got financial options to help you. You can apply online, or you can come and visit us, and we'll help you see which of the financial options would best suit you. We always say that a well-maintained car is like money in the bank, okay? I know, Donna, you depend a lot on your vehicle as well, right?
I do, absolutely.
Yeah, and I'm sure you do the preventative maintenance on it.
I sure do, every day.
All right, well, that's good. Well, again, we're here with Donna Casamento, and she's the Executive Director at Palm Valley Animal Society. Tell me a little bit about Bubbles.
Well, Bubbles is an adorable little girl. She came to us through one of our animal control officers that brings pets to us. And she did go into foster, so she was one of those little kitties that spent some time with one of our foster families. And so what happens after they get big enough in foster, they come to us here where we do their spay and neuter surgery. We get them all vaccinated and microchipped and get them ready for adoption. So she's been in our system for a little bit, but you can tell that her foster family really spent a lot of time cuddling her because she's purring like crazy here, and she absolutely loves the cuddle. So if you want a lap cat or for a cat that you can that's just going to cuddle with you, I think Bubbles just might
Bubbles
be
is
your
it.
girl.
Now, Bubbles is going to grow more, right?
Oh yeah, she's only about 8 weeks old, so she's going to get she's a brown tabby here, and she's going to grow into a nice sort of average-sized cat. Nothing average about her heart, though. She's going to
Yeah.
have a huge heart.
Yeah.
With a lot of love to give.
Well, she's ready to go. So,
she is.
well, folks, again, we thank Donna, and again, thank you for what you're doing for the community. And on behalf of Pueblo Tires, we want to thank you for allowing us to come here and do this interview, because we want folks to see that in spite of everything that's going on, there's a lot of positive things that are happening in our community. And Donna, you're originally from Missouri, right?
Yes, I am.
So how long you been in Texas?
I've only been here since April.
So welcome to Texas.
Yeah, thank you. It's great to be here.
Well, I don't know why you came back to Texas, but I mean, we're glad you're here. Because I only say that because I got people in Indiana, and there's so many trees up there, and you see the difference down here.
Yeah, I came here for the people. I
Okay.
came here for the people and the animals. I knew that we had a great need to solve a problem with the animals here
Yeah.
at Palm Valley Animal Society. And when I came and visited and met the people, I knew that
You
the
just
people in
stayed.
this community were the ones to help us solve it.
Okay, well, we're going to take one final break, and we'll be back in the blink of an eye. Say your goodbyes to Donna Casamento and here Palm Valley Animal Society and Bubbles. We'll be right back.
En Pueblo Tires and Service, su seguridad es nuestra mayor prioridad. Así que estamos tomando todas las medidas de prevención durante su visita. Mantengamos a nuestra comunidad en movimiento con nuestra nueva y extensa variedad de servicios automotriz y nuestra gigantesca selección de rines y llantas nuevas, como un set de 4 llantas de 20 pulgadas por solo $499, o compre un set de 4 llantas de 16 pulgadas por solo $299, y usted recibe una verificación de alineación gratuita. Además, recibirá la inspección de 7 puntos gratis.
Folks, if you're like me, and I know I am, you need a safe place to take your mule. Easy Solution Partner at Pueblo, we are CDC compliant. And we offer up 24 months to pay, no credit needed. Need an oil change, deal on tires, brakes, alignment, stain inspection. This is the place, folks, with over 47 years in South Texas. We are with you, Shampoozy.com. Kevailin. Shampoozy.com.
And we're back, folks, saying our goodbyes here with Donna Casamento, Executive Director from Palm Valley Animal Society. We've learned so much, and there's, again, animals, dogs, cats, this is a place to come. Donna, give us some final words where they can, reach you or locate you or contact you. And again, thank you for having us, Donna Casamento.
Thank you so much. We are so blessed to be here in the RGV, and so blessed to be able to take care of all of these great animals that we have. But, we need community to step up and help us. So you can donate, you can foster, you can volunteer, you can just adopt with us. Come here, join us, hang out, meet the animals, meet the people that are working so hard to save lives here in the RGV of all these great pets like Bubbles here.
And you all are open Monday through...
Yeah, we're open 7 days a week, 365 days a year from 11 to 7 at our location on Trenton and our other location here at the Lori P. Andrews Center, just right off of the 281.
There you go. Well, folks, again, we thank you on behalf of Pueblo Tires and Service, and we want to thank Donna Casamento again and Bubbles for being such a gracious host. And on behalf of Palm Valley Animal Society, again, folks, reach them here, and you're looking for a cat or a dog, get a hold of them. Well, again, thank you, Donna.
Thank you.
And now, folks, we just want to leave you with this last thought. Don't forget that nobody, but nobody, loves you more than Pueblo Tires and Service and Palm Valley Animal Society. Nobody.